Welcome back to Those Vegan Chefs. I'm Stefan, and this channel is dedicated to making you a better vegan cook. Check it out, scalloped potatoes made vegan. It's enough talking, it's time to make them. See you in the video. So we're gonna get the sauce going. We're gonna get all of the mushrooms trimmed first before we remove the gills. You could save all the scraps for your vegetable stock. Basically, I want to remove the gills because I want to keep our vegan heavy cream as pale as possible, and the gills are going to bring, as you can see, that really dark quality. So we're going to use our spoon. We're just going to gently scrape the gills out, leaving it nice and clean. You can see the difference, right? We got nice and pale versus the darkness of the gills. After we have the gills removed, we want to get these in the pan as quickly as possible. We're just going to put a thin slice on the mushrooms. We're going to add our olive oil, our onions with the bay leaf, beautiful mushrooms. We have our cashews we're going to saute, our salt. We're just looking to have the onions release their natural liquid and the mushrooms to release just a little bit. Like I'm talking 1 minute. Rice wine vinegar, 2 tablespoons. Our maple syrup, 1 tablespoon. 1.5 cups of veg stock. 1.5 cups of plant milk. I almost forgot the secret ingredient, dry vermouth. I can't believe that. I was stirring the sauce and I looked over and I saw the bottle and I'm like, ah, vermouth. Okay, 2 tablespoons, that's it. And we're basically gonna simmer until the cashews are tender. And then we're gonna puree it with tapioca starch. For me, the key to this scalloped potato dish is the fact that we're gonna toss the potatoes in olive oil, a touch of salt, and then we're gonna par cook them on a sheet pan in the oven. I feel like when we make vegan scalloped potatoes, they cook too long in the oven from a raw state. So we're basically gonna cut the total time cooking down a little bit by doing this. So we wanna slice them thin enough that they have a little bit of structure, but not too thick that they're, I don't know, they start to taste like just big chunks of potato. So the potato needs to be pretty thin. Do a few more. I like to save these really nice round ones for the top so we can have like a perfect shingling of the potatoes on top. So I'm gonna save these 3 perfect ones for the top, maybe 4, better safe than sorry. Do a couple more. We have our sliced potatoes looking really nice. We're gonna hit it with our salt. This is a task I like to actually use my hands so I can massage the oil all over the potatoes. It's only like a tablespoon. We're gonna make sure it's coated with the salt, because if you were to stir them, you actually have to like lift the potato up, rub it, put it down, lift the potatoes up, rub them, put them down. And if we're stirring them, we would just be moving big clumps of sliced potatoes around. So this is one of those tasks where, you just gotta get in there and coat the potatoes with oil using your hands. I have my sheet parchment and we're just gonna put them down. You know, not big clumps, spread them out a little bit. And off to the oven for 10 minutes. Okay, the potatoes are out of the oven. And the other reason we coat them in oil is so that the potatoes don't stick to each other. Otherwise, all those starches will make the potatoes start to stick to each other, and then we got a problem. But basically, it's just a little bit tender. That's it. That's all we need. We just want to get a little bit of a cooking starting. So now we're going to let these cool down so that we can handle them when it's time to layer our cast iron pan. All right, that's about fine enough on the parsley. We're gonna put it in our little container. All the ingredients are gonna go in this guy. 2 to 3 cloves of garlic. Give it a smash. Actually, we're gonna do the garlic pretty fine, actually. We're gonna mince it really nice. Garlic is minced in with the parsley. I already picked our thyme leaves. Roughly have a tablespoon. We're gonna leave them whole. Okay, to finish, all we have to do is add like a tablespoon and a half of olive oil, a pinch of sea salt, and we have this great garlic, thyme, parsley flavor bomb. Maybe just a touch more olive oil. Flavor bomb that's gonna be layered in between every other layer of potato and then finished on top. Our cast iron pan is on low. I'm gonna add just enough oil to kind of coat the bottom. The first layer of potato I want to be very crispy, almost creating a crust. Now, I'm gonna fan them all out, but we don't have to do that for the middle layers because nobody knows that if they're fanned or you just kind of threw them in there. So we don't have to be too precise at this point. The only thing we have to make sure is we cover the bottom nicely so that we're basically like making a potato crust. We're actually gonna make a little layer on the side. This is gonna enable us to get a really nice piece out. Now we're gonna add a little bit of our cream. Gently spread it around. Another layer of potato. This layer, I'm just gonna kind of throw it in so we can keep moving along. And we're gonna add every other layer. We're gonna add the garlic mixture. Garlic, thyme, parsley. Just a little. We don't have to get too aggressive with it because it's gonna flavor throughout the entire dish, especially because we're gonna have at least one more layer, possibly two. Another little layer of the cream. Spread it out. Make sure the potatoes are covered. Another layer of potatoes. All right, you get the picture, right? So we're gonna go ahead and I'm gonna continue to build this, and then we're gonna do the final little step together. The last step, we have our, remember those potatoes we set aside, the nice little perfect round ones, shaved thinly with just a little oil on top. And now we're gonna put our top layer on, and we're just gonna start putting them around the potatoes, making a beautiful fan all the way around. You can see our guys bubbling a little bit, so that's great. It's on very, very low. I think you guys are gonna find these potatoes are so delicious that it won't just be a holiday thing. It might be just like a fancy, yummy dinner night thing. Go the other direction. It's okay if it overlaps just a little bit. There we have it. Left that little hole there so it could bubble and not disrupt the whole pattern for 100 degrees, roughly 30 minutes. We have one last step. Why it's really nice and hot, it's gonna help release some of the aromas of the garlic, the thyme. We're just gonna do a little bit right on top. Dude, a wedge of scalloped potatoes made vegan. Oh my God, it's like a dream come true. I am so excited. There's two things I'm really pumped about this recipe, and it works so well. One is our vegan heavy cream, and the starch levels were perfect. The cream stayed creamy without separating and getting sticky and kind of weird. And two, par cooking our potatoes gave us the cooking time of like 35 minutes, which is amazing. So with all that being said, I think it's time for me to eat this. And I'm taking a big bite, people. We're getting down to business. That whole wedge right there. Maybe not the whole thing. Okay, almost. It happened. My dreams are coming true. But I created a problem for myself. So this year, for sure, I'm gonna have to make this scalloped potatoes made vegan and mashed potatoes. It's gonna be a 2 potato dish kind of holiday this year because my family is not gonna let me off the hook without making this for them too. So I hope you make it and enjoy it. And as always, I'll see you next week.